Ladies and gentlemen, dear students, it is a pleasure and a privilege for me to give this short keynote address at the invitation of Mr. Keshav Gupta, founder and executive director of the Dais. So let us imagine Earth seen from space, a shimmering blue marble floating in the vast dark. From that distance, there are no borders, no nations, no divisions. Only one living planet, delicate yet radiant. Everything that sustains us, our air, our oceans, our soils, our climate, is contained within a thin film of life around this blue marble. But today, that living system is under strain. We have entered what scientists call the Anthropocene, the age in which one species, our own, has become a geological force. And you, the generation of emerging global citizens, are stepping into this age at a critical turning point in history. To understand this moment, scientists have identified 9 planetary boundaries, which we call the ecological limits that keep Earth stable and life supporting. They include the climate system, biodiversity, fresh water, land use, and the flow of nitrogen and phosphorus through our soils and oceans. When we cross these thresholds, we risk tipping points, sudden and potentially irreversible changes that can transform the planet we depend on. Already, we have transgressed several of these boundaries. The climate is heating rapidly, species are vanishing at record rates, and pollution is poisoning both rivers and seas. And yet, despite knowing all this, humanity continues on a path that undermines its own survival. Why? Because our crisis is not only ecological, it is psychological and spiritual as well. We live with a fragmented consciousness, divided between mind and body, self and world, human and nature, and so on. This inner fragmentation shapes our politics, our economics, and even our science. We act as though we were separate from the web of life, as if the forests, oceans, and atmosphere were out there and we were in here. But this illusion of separation, and I repeat, this illusion of separation blinds us. It allows us to rationalize exploitation and delay action, even when reason tells us we are destroying our own home. The fragmentation within us mirrors the fragmentation we see around us between rich and poor, nations and nature, short-term gains, and long-term well-being. The deepest sustainability challenge, then, is not only to restore balance in ecosystems, but to heal the division within the self, within the human mind. To discover that we are not owners of Earth, but expressions of it. True sustainability begins when outer policy meets inner awareness. When we act not from fear or guilt, but from understanding that what we do to the planet, we do to ourselves. Each of you, through your debates and projects in this Model UN, presents the possibility of reimagining global cooperation, not as negotiation among rivals, but as collaboration among caretakers. Across the world, young people are already leading this shift, restoring degraded lands, designing circular economies, inventing regenerative technologies, and reweaving human systems into the larger fabric of life. These are not just environmental acts, they are expressions of consciousness, of remembering who we truly are. The planetary boundaries remind us not only of what we must not cross, but of the balance we must regain between knowing and being, between intellect and empathy, between self and world. As you prepare for your Model UN discussions, remember, we cannot create sustainable policies with unsustainable and divided minds. Wholeness in policy begins with wholeness in the self. Let me leave you with this thought. We are not defending nature, we are nature, awakening to defend itself. The future is not fixed. It will be written by the quality of our consciousness and the courage of our actions. And both begin right here, right now, with you. I thank you.